Hello to you one and all, and welcome to another episode of the Broad Points Podcast. I am your host, the broad that points, the broad with the points. It's me, Tyler, the lady. Welcome to episode 76, my fellow ladybugs. It is just you and I today. So let's jump right on in. I am fresh off a road trip recording this episode. I just got back into my beloved Coachella Valley after a road trip out to Phoenix. And so this fundamental phrase, I used it both for this previous trip and for the many upcoming trips that I will be having in the very near future. June is a very busy month for me, and I didn't even realize it until, about May 31st. And then I realized, oh, wow, I'm pretty much nonstop. So with that, I do want to say we have to make the time for the things that we want to do, because there are no guarantees in this life. For example, there are no guarantees that I would have the time to record this episode or another episode, because this week, actually, I'm going to be dog sitting, and then we're going to Vegas, baby. So I made the time for this episode. I want to encourage you, before I jump into the fundamental phrase, to make time for the things that you want to do. It is, I feel like, such an underrated thing of just make the time. Either put it in your schedule or actually commit to the time that you say you're going to do something. Personally, I think writing it down, having it in your phone application, however you like to keep track of the things that you like to do it. Because if you don't budget the time, you're not going to do it. And most of the time, if I don't write it down, if I don't have that physical reminder, I'm probably not going to do it. I actually have a planner this year that has little to-do check boxes, and although there are other flaws with this planner that we will not get into, one of the positives is that it has these little to-do check boxes. Sometimes it's for things that I need to do. Other times I use it as a packing list. So, things can be versatile. Do with it what you will. With that, let's go ahead and jump into the fundamental phrase of the week, and then we'll talk about my trip in Phoenix. The fundamental phrase, in case you are new, is a mantra, a North Star, our guiding light, a mantra to keep us positive, upbeat, focused. Right? These little things that can kind of push us through in times where other people might be trying to drag you down. And by other people, that can also be the voice inside of your own head. So having something to say within your own head, back to your own voice in your head, is a fun little thing to be able to do. It is indeed a mindfulness practice. So this week's fundamental phrase is simple. It's just 2 words. Let's see. Oh, you guys, these 2 words are so incredibly powerful. Let's see. Right? How many times, and I'm going to just speak from experience here, how many times have we had something on the agenda and then just thought it to death? Just thought about all of the possible what ifs and what could go wrong and all of these things that just really make us feel heavy. Sometimes make us not even want to go. Right? Sometimes not even want to do the thing because we're so overwhelmed by what we think might happen. Now, I choose these words very carefully here. I think, right? Think and might happen. Because again, like I said earlier, there are no guarantees. There are no guarantees for good times. There are no guarantees for bad times. We just have to put our best foot forward and see what unfolds. Oh my goodness. Let's just see. Let's just see. And this has been it's been coming up a lot for me lately in the best possible way. I'm having so much fun with these two words. I had booked, for example, this trip to Phoenix with a girlfriend whom I love very much if you're listening to this. And I'm like so over the moon, and like just honestly planning things with other people it's hard. It's a really hard thing. At least for me, this is obviously a belief or possibly a limiting belief that I have in my head. But what happens typically is that there are cancellations. Things pop up, and then you have to pivot. And back in the day, when I was really into hiking, for example, I wouldn't even deal with it. I wouldn't even deal with it. You know, I love all my friends. I love all my family. You know, it's all beautiful and gravy, and it's fun to do stuff with people. Also, sometimes I don't have the time to make a plan with you. I don't have time to go and meet up and do the thing, especially if you're going to bail. So I like full-on commitment. These, again, totally not anyone's fault or anything, and I'm so happy about all of the things in this situation. What is important here for me is that I was let's see. Let's just ask some questions, and let's just see what else we could possibly do. So for me, my mind goes, well, I can go alone, which is one option, drive to Phoenix alone, or I could take Matt. And luckily, I was able to convince Matt to go with me, so I had a carpool buddy for the very limited amount of time that there is a carpool lane, because when you drive through the desert, there's not really a lot of lanes, so you don't really need a carpool lane. But beautiful drive, just a lot of desert. Almost exactly the same. Almost exactly the same everywhere. My beautiful Arizona neighbor, you know, you just kind of look the same. But it was a great time. We actually went there for a concert, which, you know, was not probably Matt's choice of a concert, because again, I was supposed to go with girlfriend, but he did appreciate her. So Queen Herbie is who we went to see. It's QVEEN, and then Herbie, HERBY. And she is honestly so inspirational. She's so iconic, fashionable, and just so many beautiful adjectives that I can't even begin to describe. She really leads the boss energy movement, confidence. If you have not heard her music, she is a rapper, she is a singer, and she is just one hell of a good time. She puts on an amazing show, and she actually makes this just all sorts of like witchy vibes and spooky vibes. And if you're into like astrology or tarot cards or like any of these things, you know, self-care, she's about it. She has a song called Vitamins where she talks about, you know, going away and like deciding to take care of herself and take her vitamins, and now she's a bad bitch. And that is the energy that I like to thrive on. And it's funny because I was listening to her a lot when I was in Alaska. So when I was all alone up there, you know, with all these men, there's like very few women on the island. And so when I'm up there all alone, you know, you go out to the bars, you go do whatever, but like it's just a lot of testosterone. And women, we're different. We're different than men. We just really are. And so to have someone reminding me of, oh yeah, you are a woman and there's power within that. You know, we are all goddesses, you know, when we act and view each other as such. And so, you know, you can be a garbage human being if you want to be, or you can view yourself as a goddess, right? And just really lean into your power. And she talks about, you know, living like the universe chose you. And so, you know, if you're going to be brainwashed by any sort of music, I mean, why not have it be in a good way? Why not have it be a positive thing? I think I've talked about it maybe on one of the earlier episodes, but I'll say it again. I mean, growing up, I loved me some Crazy Town. I did. I loved me a lot of other things, but we're just going to use Crazy Town in this example. And it's because, there's a lot of songs about like stumbling around and being drunk and falling on the floor. And, I did that as an adult. And to see that play out from like listening as a child who has no idea what's going on in the lyrics of the song to living that, and then now reflecting on that and seeing, the possible correlation, right? I don't believe really in coincidence, especially not in this instance where almost verbatim on some of the lyrics from some of the songs that I grew up listening to, they played out in my life. So I try, right, it's always a practice, to be more intentional with the things that I'm putting into my mind now. And when I am watching what my friends and I call garbage TV, I do like to view it in a way of, being detached or like having it be just like an escape, just like to unwind from a day, like something like that. Or even being able to see the inner workings of the characters and sort of reflect based on my life, based on what I'm seeing in TV. I don't know. I get really deep sometimes. My mind just goes on and on and on. And so, for me, I think remembering your worth is just so important. And that's why I really love Queen Herbie. She was just so amazing. Honestly, the performance last night, there was just so many things. The tiny details, her outfits, the lighting. She had a giant SS Herbie ship. It was beautiful. It's inspirational. I want to be able to do stuff like that. I want to be able to sing and, possibly rap. I also do rap. I write poetry. I do all the things. So having somebody, to create beats with and to be able to create music with, if you play live instruments, I've been practicing piano. I actually just got certified on Essentials 3 on Simply Piano, which is an app that I've been learning piano on because I just have not had the time to go out and have professional piano lessons. That's a lot. I'm already doing dance. I'm doing this podcast. I'm working a full-time job. I'm dog sitting and more. But wait, there's more. And all of these things are honestly energizing to me. My cup feels so full and I'm so happy and I'm so in love with my life. So I don't feel like I'm being drained, which is nice. I feel like I'm living my life intentionally. And that really started when I remembered that I was worth it now. Right now. You are worth it right now in this moment. You might not feel your best in this moment, wherever you are. Maybe you're not in the same position as me right now. That's okay, right? We're all on our journey. We're all exactly where we're supposed to be, hearing and intaking exactly what we're supposed to be intaking at that moment. And so trusting the process, also taking initiative. Choosing to fight for your life, the life and the dreams that you want to live. And you get to do it now, right? You get to do it, right? It's a privilege to be able to do it. You get to do it now because you are alive now. Right now. It is the most beautiful thing. And it doesn't even have to be a lot. I mean, there was a moment, actually, before I learned how to do pull-ups, it all started by me just doing the pigeon. Yeah, pigeon pose. It's just a stretch. You go on the floor, you put your one leg in front of the other leg, and you're sitting there stretching your hip, and oh my goodness, just that one thing. And slowly but surely, it all started to build up. And before I knew it, I had honestly lost so much weight because I was just completely not stressed about having to do pigeon, right? Or having to take care of myself. It wasn't having to anymore. It was getting to. It wasn't, I have to take care of myself. I have to live this life. I didn't choose this. It was, I get to. The universe chose me, and now I'm choosing to participate. I'm choosing to participate because I am worth it. The universe decided that I was worth it when I got to be here, and the fact that I'm still here. And same with you. And so that is why it's always the perfect time to start investing in yourself. And I've been running I've been dancing. I finished my 4-week floor work class with Yelena, who I believe I will have on here at some point. And I'm so excited about that because she just really honestly instills that level of confidence as well. We break it down on the bare levels of what we need to do to take care of ourselves, what we need to do to feel our bodies, to feel the floor and connect. And that's just right now. You're never too old to start something new. I don't care about that old dog saying. I don't. It's not relevant. Are you a dog? I didn't think so. Maybe your dog listens to this. So if you are, what's up, dog? I love dogs so much. Oh, dogs are the best. Dogs are the best. But anyways, with everything in life, we take it one step, one day, one moment at a time. By doing this, it allows us to pivot. It allows us to be flexible, and it allows us to be present. Present. Oh my goodness. Here, right now, in this moment, present. Oh, it's so underrated. It's so underrated. I mean, I think about, even just my plumerias in my front yard of how many times I'd walked by them just being like, yeah, it's beautiful. And you just walk by and you're they smell. Plumerias smell. I didn't even think about it until my friend texted me and was like, hey, did you know, what do they smell like? And then I went out and, oh my gosh, sensational. They smell sensational. Because my senses are engaged, and, recognizing that we have these senses and that they are a gift, allows us to really maneuver through this life, especially when we have things. I'm going to get into just a tiny bit of coaching here, such as energy blocks, things blocking us from doing the things that we want to be doing, right? And talking about my Phoenix trip, right? Talking about all the what ifs. Honestly, if Matt had not gone with me, I didn't realize that there were actually some sketch places in Phoenix. Where I grew up, I just assumed that I could just handle whatever, but you still don't want to put yourself in crazy situations if you don't have to. And so, I was very, very grateful that Matt went with me. But one of the things, that was going through my mind is, assumptions. Things based on things that I have experienced that, start popping into my head that then, limit me from doing things. It instills fear, right? Or, maybe another energy block that could have been going on for me was a limiting belief, a belief that I was not maybe allowed to go out alone. That's a real thing. There are a lot of people who believe that they cannot travel alone, and so they don't, right? Another thing that could have happened is I could have started making stories. I could have started just, making just wild judgments and opinions based off of, oh, the temperature is going to be too hot. I don't think I'm going to go because I'm going to die. There's a lot of things that could have just quickly removed me from it. Even going to the I'm not worthy side of it. I'm not worthy because now, I'm financially, doing more and I don't want to spend that much on myself, right? I'm not worth it. These are all different types of energy blocks, things that limit us and ultimately bring us back to that state of fear, right? That state of fear. And there's this beautiful quote actually by Hafiz, and it's, "Fear is the cheapest room in the house. I would like to see you live in better conditions." Yeah, I would like to see you living in better conditions. Fear is the cheapest room in the house. Fear is that room in the basement with the leaks and the crack in both the floor and the ceiling, and it doesn't have insulation or air conditioning because, I don't want you to be comfortable no matter what, because it's fear. When fear rules your life, you just live in the misery and the discomfort. And so by choosing, right, to see the energy blocks, by choosing to recognize which one of the things we're encountering or working with someone, who can help you to identify those things can truly allow you to live your best life. One of Queen Herbie's songs is talking about self-awareness, and, one of the greatest tools that I have acquired along my journey is the ability to be able to identify the different kinds of energy blocks, the different levels of energy that I could be approaching life from, right? The different perspectives that I can be viewing life from. And honestly, throughout everything, these things have been so monumental in allowing me to both let go, because that is part of it, and also to move forward. So, for example, letting go, right? We cannot move forward if we're holding on to too much stuff. It weighs down physically if we think about it. If we're carrying too much stuff, we will not be able to move. So put some of it down. Put some of it down. You deserve to set some of that down, honey. Take a break. Take a load off, if you will. And one of the things that Queen Herbie did at her show, it's actually funny because I'm going to say this beforehand, I totally do this in my car from time to time when I'm driving if I feel like I need to let something go, is she asked the crowd if they wanted to participate in a ritual. And this ritual was a ritual for letting go. Yes, for letting go. And so she had everybody in the audience do a primal scream. Yes, scream primally at the top of your lungs. And as we were all screaming, she was simply plucking the things that we were all letting go away from us. Freeing. It felt freeing. It was amazing. Sometimes you really just do have to yell. She's talking about release your throat chakra. Sometimes you've got to do it. I used to hike out into the wilderness and let out a good scream from time to time. Sometimes you do it in your car. Wherever you want to do it, you got to let these things out. However you want to do it. And I do love a primal scream, especially if you are feeling a little trapped in your throat chakra. So, with that, I am so honored to be here at episode 76. Time has just been flying by. I'm looking forward to many more episodes and also some new fun guests. I'm not going to give you any sneak peeks right now. I'm not going to do it, but you be excited. I'm excited for the new guests. So I'm always excited to share with you. And maybe it's you. I don't know. Maybe it's you. Send me an email. Follow me on social media. Where, you ask? At Broadpoints or at Tyler the Lady. And if you do want that email, it is broadpointspodcast@gmail.com. Also, let's not forget about bingo. Yes, self-care bingo is available for you. Sure, we've already started June, but it's never too late to take care of yourself. You can take care of yourself any day of the week. I just so happened to say that we were playing for the month of June. So if you want to play, please send me a DM. Please send me an email. If you are in the Coachella Valley, I will happily meet up with you and give you an official bingo dauber. Now, let's wrap it up one more time with that fundamental phrase for the week. Let's see.